Hi there, my favorite people, and welcome back to my channel. This is the stands for the Sun Tarot channel, and in today's reading we are taking a look at what has the person on your mind learned from you. This is actually a request that I received quite a long time ago, and I apologize for that, but this is actually something that I wanted to address with this reading. I am a mood reader, okay? So even though I really love your suggestions and I really want to get around to doing them one day, it really depends a lot on the sort of energy that I am in at the time, which really facilitates me being able to channel the most honest and accurate messages. So that is why there may be, quite a period of time between when you make a request for a reading and when I actually do it. I really hope that you're going to be understanding about that. Another thing that I wanted to mention before we get into the four groups is the fact that there may be a sound that you can hear that is basically my air conditioning because it's so hot in here, and I tried doing this reading without it on because obviously it makes noise, but I absolutely couldn't. I couldn't concentrate. I got so angry because I was so hot, and I also get hot when I'm channeling, so you can guess that was a really nasty situation to be in. So I'm so sorry for the noise, but it is, trust me, it's absolutely necessary. But with that being said, let's introduce the piles for today. We are picking based on cards from the Chakra Wisdom Oracle deck, I believe. For you, pile 1, I have the card Perseverance here. Pile 2, we have Faith. Pile 3, Wisdom. And pile 4, we have Confusion. As always, take all the time that you need to pick your pile, and once you are done doing that, you can scroll down into the description box below, find the timestamp for your reading, you click it, and I'll meet you there. Hi there, pile 1, and welcome to your reading, babe. Today we are taking a look at what has the person on your mind learned from you. For that, you've obviously chosen the card of Perseverance, so I say we take a look at the other cards that came out in the pre-shuffle and get a feel of what this overarching message is. So we're going to leave the card that you chose here in the center of the. In addition, we have a lunar eclipse with change. We have Go Deeper, new moon in Scorpio. Witch, number 36, with the magic you seek is inside of you, let it flow. Also on lunar eclipse, we have number 43. I'm mentioning these just in case they are relevant to some of you. We also have Aquamarine, number 4, with courage and throat chakra. And in terms of tarot, we have the Tower, the Morning, and the Devil reversed. This is very interesting, pile 1. Right off the bat with just the Tower and the Morning being here, well, actually the Devil reversed too. I'm kind of getting the feeling that you have kind of jump-started this person's spiritual awakening. I wouldn't be surprised if you even kind of threw them into their dark night of the soul, because I just sense that there is something about your presence that has triggered something within themselves. Obviously, you're here, you're watching a tarot reading, so I would argue that you are quite spiritual yourself. Maybe you're quite vocal about your beliefs. Maybe you're even about your practices, if you actually practice anything that has to do with spirituality. And this person, I would say that they were very drawn in by your energy. Now, this is a general reading, and I want to keep it as general as possible. For some of you, these people actively showed interest in what you did or in you as a person as a whole, or they may have been watching more from the sidelines. For example, if you are someone who is quite prevalent on social media, maybe you post a lot, maybe you share your thoughts a lot, maybe that's where they watched you, maybe you even have, a YouTube channel like I have here, and that is where this person watched you. But it's just this message that whether it was directly or indirectly, this person has learned a lot from you. There's just something about your energy, the way you present yourself, the way you speak, that is just very magnetic to this person. And I really feel like it's because you show them a side of themselves that was always present, but they were too afraid to tap into, which is, normally the case with people's spiritual sides, being, powerful parts of ourselves that can, lead to a lot of meaningful change in our lives. So, depending on the person, some people may be afraid of that. But especially with this person, I'm kind of getting that whereas you exude this self-confidence and this I love myself just the way I am energy, they are much more, I don't want to say exactly at war with themselves, but it's not far from it either. I really see this person as someone who has been struggling with their self-esteem, their self-worth, their self-image for a really, really long time. And especially this this message is coming through strongly. They've struggled with seeing themselves for exactly who they are. You know how we were speaking about you showing this person a side of themselves that was always there, but they were not aware of it. I feel like for most of their life, this person has let their ego take over, their intrusive thoughts, their overthinking patterns, meanwhile ignoring their intuition, if not completely, then almost completely. And once again, I'm mentioning this, it is a general, oh, I'm so sorry about that, I'm drinking some matcha right now. But speaking of this being a general reading, maybe this is not even something that was necessarily noticeable by the people around them, that they struggle with their self-image. And I want to make this very clear in case some of you are confused and are like, no, but like this person acts so loud and confident in public, how could they struggle with their self-image and stuff like that? I would say that that is a sort of fake it till you make it sort of energy that they were in. They may have just not felt comfortable also with showing how they really felt on the inside, given that they already felt small by themselves. They didn't want other people to see them as small and insignificant as well, which I'm not saying would have happened, but in this person's mind, it was definitely a potential risk, let's call it. I really feel like the place where you would particularly be able to tell, you would be particularly able to see that this person is struggling with their self-esteem and their self-worth would be in their decisions. So let's say that this person is someone who is, I don't know, very talented, very skilled maybe, maybe very equipped from the point of view of their education, okay? Maybe they've studied a lot, maybe they have a lot of degrees, but you really see this person go for things that are not aligned with them. So they always go for jobs or schools or partners that are not up to par when it comes to them. I really feel shitty giving this comparison, especially since I mentioned people in there as well, like partners, potential partners for this person. But I really feel like this person can achieve more, can do better when it comes to the people that they surround themselves with. And they're really kind of like keeping themselves boxed into this place that makes them very comfortable, but also limits themselves, because they don't get to show their entire personality. They don't get to approach certain subjects that they may be very passionate about and they may be also very, very good at. So an example of this may be this person has, I don't know, let's say they have a master's in management, but instead of pursuing a job in management, they go for something lower. They go for, I don't know, just a regular employee, or maybe they go to human resources, or just any department that is, below, and any position that is below the the management, because they don't even try. Because of course in some companies you can't just go for the manager position right away when you apply, but they don't even try for that job, you know what I mean? They feel really comfortable in their little department where they know exactly what they have to do, and you know, it's not really that difficult. That was basically my example. But going back to the actual topic of this reading, I'm so sorry, I get really into the people that we talk about, because I really like talking about people. But going back to what they have learned from you, I really feel like through the things that they've noticed in you, a lot of changes have occurred within themselves as well. I feel like for some of them, you know, some of them are more ahead than others, but they're definitely in this process of becoming more confident in themselves, becoming more outspoken and clear with their communication. And what I mean by that is clearly expressing what they want, what they need, and what their boundaries are. Okay, they're not letting people give them the bare minimum. They are not allowing people to just treat them like shit in general. They are taking the reins of their own life, and most importantly, they are learning to work with themselves. They understand what a limitless potential lies within each of us. Okay, we just need to tap into that and work with ourselves, learn to understand ourselves, what our strengths are, what our weaknesses are, what our dreams and goals and ambitions, what are the things that drive us. And using that information about themselves, they get a better idea of where they should be going in life. And I feel like another really important thing that you've taught this person is exactly the card that you've chosen, because I haven't addressed it yet, but perseverance. Okay, maybe you are someone who has had quite the difficult journey as well. I wouldn't be surprised if you actually mirror this person's journey in a lot of ways, because like I said in the beginning, something about you triggered something in this person. So I wouldn't be surprised if there was a little bit of mirroring there, a little bit of a tie between the two of you, depending on what person you're actually asking about. But yeah, you may be someone who has had quite a difficult journey as well, and you are open about that. And you are open especially about the times where you have fallen along the way, but you just never gave up and you kept getting yourself back up. I feel like this person is highly inspired by you. Depending on your particular situation, maybe some of you don't even know how inspired this person is of you, because they don't communicate that clearly to you. Like I said, with the fact that they are only now learning how to use their throat chakra correctly, I wouldn't be surprised if, you know, in the past the communication between the two of you would have been scarce, or, you know, it was just not very meaningful. At least you didn't perceive it as meaningful, because I feel like this person would have eaten every single word that you were getting out of your mouth. And for my people who themselves struggle with a little bit of a self-esteem issue, and you're like, no, this person can never be this inspired by me, like I'm literally little miss nobody and I don't do anything with my life, like, trust me, your words reach into places that you would have not thought about. Just keep that in mind. I just want you to know, and Spirit wants you to know, that your words matter so much. I'm not sure if you're supposed to do something with that in this lifetime, something meaningful, but definitely that is a message coming through. Your words reach far more people than you believe, and actually help them. But with that being said, pile one, that has been your reading. I really hope that you enjoyed. If you did, please consider liking, commenting, subscribing. I would love to keep your wonderful energy around, and I really hope to see you in another reading. Bye! Hi there, pal 2, and welcome to your reading, baby. Today we are taking a look at what has the person on your mind learned from you, and for that you've chosen the card of Faith. Absolutely beautiful card. I say we take a look at the other cards that came out in the pre-shuffle as well, and then get a feeling of what this overarching meaning is. So we're going to leave the card that you've chosen here in the center. In addition to that, we have Void, of course, Moon with Missing. We have Epiphany, Reveal Your Gifts, number 6. And I'm mentioning, by the way, the numbers just in case they are relevant to some of you. So we have number 6 on the Epiphany card and number 62 on the Void, of course, Moon. We also have New Moon in Libra, Know You Are Loved. We have Fuchsite. I'm probably saying that wrong, but hopefully you got it. With number 17, Healing and the Heart Chakra. And you actually got a bonus crystal, which would be, of course, I can pronounce this one either Zincite? It's probably Zincite. But with number 44, the physical body and root chakra. And in terms of tarot, we have the Ace of Torches, which is the Ace of Wands. We have the Five of Pentacles reversed. And we have the Ten of Pentacles. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Balto, my first instinct is to focus on you and tell you how amazing you are and how influential you are in people's lives, but I'm going to stick to the actual topic of the reading. As the card that you've chosen indicates, you have taught this person faith. Okay, depending on your particular spiritual beliefs, maybe you are the type of person who follows one religion, maybe you are the type of person who likes to kind of combine different teachings from different religions, or maybe you're just someone who just wings it, honestly, and just follows their own teachings, their own guiding energies that they are feeling around them. No matter the case, I really feel like you have introduced this person into the world of spirituality and into this concept of, how do you say that in English? This concept of all people on earth being interconnected at the same time, and also interconnected with the universe itself. I have no idea if interconnectivity is a word, so that's why I didn't want to throw it out there and make a fool of myself, exactly like I did right now, but you know, cool. Anyway, you've definitely introduced some very meaningful spiritual concepts into this person's life. A little bit about this person. They may have felt lost before they have met you, or before the two of you started to have more significant conversations with one another and started, you know, developing a relationship, no matter the kind. I don't have just one type of relationship in mind for this particular reading, but I definitely see them as someone who has felt abandoned, who has felt alone, who has felt like it was them against the world at all times. They didn't really feel like at any point in their life they had any sort of help. Now, you know, that could have been true, that could have been just the way this person perceived it, but they definitely felt like most people, for the most part, were sort of against them. This person may have, you know, if we're going darker here, this person may have struggled with certain addictions, and addictions doesn't have to mean just addictions to substances. It can be addictions to people, addictions to certain lifestyles, addictions to intercourse, I guess. Just anything that would kind of like numb their pain. There's just something about this person, they didn't want to feel their own pain. They would like to act all tough and strong and be like, I don't need anybody, but deep down, with this new moon in Libra coming out, know that you are loved. I really feel like deep down that was their biggest desire. And once again, I don't know the type of relationship we're talking about with the two of you, but you've definitely introduced the concept of unconditional love into this person's life, but through a higher power, whether you want to call it God or Allah, or I'm a little bit ignorant when it comes to this department. I definitely do not know all of the deities. I mean, maybe you worship Greek gods or the Norse gods or something like that. Just whatever you want to call these higher powers. There's always this sort of idea in our mind that they love us unconditionally. Well, if we're talking about, bigger pantheons, here I'm more so referring to the main gods, the main god, should I say, in a certain pantheon, who is always referred to as the father. And no matter how tough they can be on you, and no matter how much tough love they show you, you kind of like get this idea that they still love you unconditionally, even when they're being hard on you. But I feel like this person has really felt comforted by you and by your beliefs. Once again, I don't know which beliefs you follow, but at the end of the day, I feel like that is kind of like a common theme in most religions of unconditional love, and all of us being the children of an all-knowing father who just ultimately knows best for us. Even if you just believe in the universe as a whole, I do believe that the universe loves us, once again, even when it shows us some tough love as well. But what you did with this person is, because right now I know I made it kind of like seem like just pushed your beliefs down this person's throat. I really don't think you did that. I just feel like you just presented what you believed to this person, and if it's any comfort to you, if you feel yourself like you have pushed these beliefs down this person's throat, I just want to say that this person would not have allowed you to do that. I feel like this person is very headstrong, very just stubborn in general, so they wouldn't just accept people's opinions for gospel. So there's definitely something in especially in your energy, I would say, that convinced this person that you were telling the truth, that you wanted what was best for them, that you had basically their best interest at heart. And I feel like in the process, they just became more connected with whatever deity you were discussing themselves. I wouldn't be surprised if this person began to pray, or they just began to completely change the lifestyle that they used to live. Not because I'm all against that sort of thing, like, oh, if you drink then God doesn't love you, or if you have intercourse before marriage, God doesn't love you and you'll burn in hell and whatever. I just really don't believe in those things. But the thing I do believe is that if you abstinate from those things just because you're afraid of burning in hell, that doesn't really count. That doesn't make you a good person. It doesn't make you a good spiritual person. I wanted to say Christian, I'm not going to lie to you, because we see this a lot with Christians. At least, that's what I have access to. But I really feel like this person has begun to change their lifestyle just because they feel more at peace with themselves. And I feel like the need to constantly numb themselves from the real world is kind of diminuting. That's not a word, is it? It's kind of like going away. I have the vocabulary of a 3-year-old. I'm so sorry. But I really see the impact that you have had on this person's life. Like, you've showed them faith. Okay, like you actually show them the beauty that is in all things, and that at the end of the day is God. And here I'm saying God in the meaning of like all sort of higher beings. You don't necessarily have to identify with the word of God, but I just mean to say that there is beauty in everything, because everything is God's, this higher powers creation, and we all have the chance to turn our lives around. I really feel like you have sparked a fire within this person to be better, to do something with themselves. Once again, I really feel like in the past, this person kind of like even gave up on themselves because they felt like the entire world has given up on them. But you've showed them that there is one person, who hasn't, and that is this higher being that you introduced to them, and they really want to show up for this higher being, and they want to realize their full potential. I really see them having these dreams of building something significant, something that would at the same time kind of like be a, what do you call that, a gift to God, kind of like a show of this person's love towards God when, God has showed them so much love. But going back to the actual concept for this reading, I really get distracted when it comes to talking about people, because I really love talking about people and like getting into their psychology and stuff, and this person is very interesting. But going back to the main topic of the reading, pile 2, you've showed this person, no, you didn't teach this person, you gave them, like you straight up gave them the most beautiful gift of all, helping them understand that they are not alone and they will never be alone, they will never walk the earth alone. And I really feel like that exact thing is exactly what this person has been missing. So beautiful job, pile 2. You know how I said in the beginning that I really want to tell you how wonderful you are? Like that's really just what I'm feeling about you right now. A lot of love too. So that has been your reading, pile 2. I really hope that you enjoyed. If you did, please consider liking, commenting, subscribing. I would love to keep your wonderful energy around, and I really hope to see you in another reading. Bye! Hi there, pile 3, and welcome to your reading, baby. Today we are taking a look at what has the person on your mind learned from you, and for that you've chosen the card of wisdom right here. I say we take a look at the other cards that came out in the pre-shuffle as well, and then get a feel for what the overarching message is. We're going to leave the card that you've chosen here in the center, obviously. In addition, we have Gemini with we have last quarter moon in Pisces with talk less and feel more. We have Samadhi, I'm assuming. I hope I'm not pronouncing that completely wrong. Just, a little tiny bit wrong. But yeah, Samadhi with perfect acceptance. We have Angelite with angels, throat, and crown chakras. And in terms of tarot, we have the High Priestess, the Ace of Cups, and the Hanged One. Alright, so right off the bat, pile 3, we have a lot of mutable energy, particularly Pisces, obviously, last quarter moon in Pisces, High Priestess, and the Hanged One being Pisces cards. But we do also have a touch of Gemini here. But with all of this mutable energy, I feel like that ties in so well with wisdom, because what is wisdom at its core? And I'm going to kind of like quote my personal belief of what wisdom is. This is not taken from anywhere, but in my personal opinion, wisdom is just the strength to change your mind, to change your opinion, along the way as you are faced with different situations that kind of like challenge you to think out of the box and do things differently. It is not a linear journey either, and it does require a lot of bending from you. And when I say you, I'm actually getting in this context that this would be about your person. I see, and by the way, your person, I'm just calling them that because it's easier. This doesn't have to be anything romantic. You could have asked about absolutely anybody in this reading, your mom, your dad, your anybody, okay? But I'm just going to call them your person because it's easier. But I see this person as someone kind of stubborn, kind of headstrong, the sort of person who would be like my way or the highway. And that has really worked for them for quite some time, until it didn't. You know, the way it usually works. They were faced with some sort of situation that they were not equipped to handle, because they were not ready to see it from a different perspective. They were not ready to look outside of themselves. And this is very vague. I feel like this pile in general is very, very vague. So I really hope you will excuse me. I'm trying to explain this as best I can. But at this moment in time, I really see you stepping in. I would argue that this is probably a person that you've known for a while, or you've had some sort of relationship with them for a while, because just with that energy that I got from them as being very headstrong, my way or the highway, I don't think they would have let just anybody give them advice. Then again, you could have just given them advice and not cared whether or not they've asked you, which boss ass move. Okay, fine. It's kind of like a boss ass move, because this person really needed a wake up call, but I don't recommend doing that with just anybody. It's kind of rude in certain situations. Not with this person though. I'm being biased here. I'm with you, Pile 3. But I really feel like you had come in with a different perspective. A particular perspective that may have been given to you through your intuition, by your guides, by your angels. Obviously we have angels here, and also like the crown chakra. I really feel like spirit was kind of like acting through you in order to kind of like give this person a wake-up call. Maybe that is even manifesting in the sense that you don't even really remember what you said to this person, because you were just kind of like openly channeling from spirit, and everything is kind of a blur, which is basically what kind of happens with these readings. I remember very few readings from what I've done, and it can literally be I stop the camera and I don't remember anything that I've said, because I'm openly channeling. Maybe that is something that has happened to you as well, but I definitely see you giving this person some harsh truths. I'm not necessarily sure this person knew where these messages came from. Maybe some of you tried to explain to them that, you know, you were guided to tell them these things. Maybe you told them about, you know, the power of intuition and how people can work with the universe in order to bring certain things in. Or maybe some of you didn't even bother because you knew this person would be too stuck in their ways to really understand anything. But really what this person learned from you, because that is obviously the main topic that we are supposed to discuss, what this person learned from you, Pile 3, is to be more open-minded, to be more malleable even. I'm kind of like getting, for some of you, maybe this person was a fixed sign. For some reason, I'm getting particularly fixed Earth, which would be Taurus. But I guess every fixed sign would work as well. And maybe you are yourself a mutable sign who is just naturally more inclined to change their mind and try new things and experience things from different point of views and stuff like that. And I really feel like that is something that you brought into this person's life, and you kind of like developed this sort of like knack for it in them as well. They kind of like became excited by your way of being, by your way of seeing, because it was just so innovative, you know, in a sense to them. Because before this experience that they've had with you, they were just like really tunnel vision on themselves, their own goals, their own life and stuff like that. And you kind of like showed them in a way a whole new world. Basically, you showed them everything that was outside of themselves. Not to call this person egotistical or anything. They were just like very focused and grounded. And in a sense, they felt like you showed them a brand new world by just showing them what was outside themselves. And you kind of like taught them to see the beauty in all things that surround them, and not just all things, but in failures, in mistakes, the beauty in, you know, just fucking something up. Not, you know, through your own volition, not that you wanted to fuck something up, but it just happened. And from that point onwards, having the strength to get up again and try again, the beauty in that process. Because what that expression, it doesn't matter how many times you fall, it kind of like, it matters how many times you get up, something like that. But it's such a beautiful message in general. I feel like this person did not really believe in failing before. They did not believe in making mistakes, which is kind of like a wild idea, but trust me, it's completely doable. It's completely doable to not make mistakes. I'm 22. I've made like 1 or 2 big mistakes in my life because I don't try things that I know I'm not going to be good at. And it's sort of that fear of failure that guides you. And when you have that fear of failure and you don't do things that you know you're going to fail at, you naturally won't have many mistakes in your life. So it's perfectly doable for somebody to not have made mistakes in the past. I'm like, you know, living proof of that. But you kind of like thought this person that everybody's human and making mistakes is part of life, you know, ultimately. And it's much more, it tells so much more about somebody's character when they fall and get back up than when they just do everything perfectly from the beginning. Was this very vague? This was very vague, wasn't it, Paul 3? I feel like it was very, very vague. Maybe there are going to be a lot of people who choose this particular pile, but I literally can't get anything absolutely specific. It's just, I just see this event that forced your person, the person we're discussing today, to have to look out of the box and have to look at things from another perspective. Otherwise, they would remain stuck in a particularly nasty situation, or just, you know, the sort of situation that you don't want to find yourself in. And it was you that was needed to come in, and not, you know, just through your own volition, but sort of like guided by your own intuition, to come in and help this person awaken to a higher meaning of life, and kind of like develop that strength to change their mind, you know, just change their mind, just change their opinion, change their thought pattern, in order to see other people and include other people in the equation as well. Yeah. So once again, I'm so sorry for this being very vague. I'm literally just staring at the cards and I'm thinking, is there anything else that I can provide for you? But there's nothing specific coming through. With that being said, Pal 3, I really hope that you enjoyed. If you did, please consider liking, commenting, subscribing. I would love to keep your wonderful energy around, and I really hope to see you in another reading. Bye! Hi there, Pal 4, and welcome to your reading, baby. Today we are taking a look at what has this person learned from you. For that, you've chosen the card of confusion, which I don't want to say it makes me confused, because it's clear that you were able to pick up on something more meaningful about this card, but it definitely kind of like singles you out from the other groups, because their messages were really like straightforward, straight to the point, like this is what you thought this person. Obviously you didn't teach your person to be confused, but we'll see what that actually has to do with the reading after we also get out the cards that came out in the rest of the pre-shuffle as well. So without further ado, let's just get into those cards and see what this person has learned from you. We're going to leave the card that you've chosen here in the center. We also have Venus with love. We have first quarter moon in Aries, step into your power. We have flashover, it's all in your head. We have I'm probably going to say this wrong. Peridot. I'm not sure. Hopefully it's one of those. But the message is teach and the heart chakra. We also have Seraphonite. I'm pretty sure that's how you pronounce it. I don't see any other way. But the message at the bottom would say honesty, heart, and third eye chakras. In terms of tarot, we have Four of Torches, Nine of Swords reversed, the Sun, and the Magician. Right off the bat, pile 4, I'm kind of like getting a clash of opinions between the two of you. While I see the person that we're discussing as someone who was pretty closed off to love, someone who didn't necessarily trust love for many a reason, obviously, many possible reasons there, I see you as someone who, if not necessarily a hopeless romantic, you're definitely someone who believes in love and who can appreciate the beauty and power of love, of two people who come together in mutual respect and care and fondness and agree to build something together, be it that it is, you know, a family or maybe a business or, you know, just a relationship. At the end of the day, that requires a lot of building as well. But you're definitely someone who appreciates the process, and you're definitely someone who I feel has seen for themselves how love can change people for the better. That is a little bit of a specific message. Maybe it's not going to resonate for all of you. But I feel like when the two of you came in contact, when the two of you bumped heads on this particular thing, I really feel like this person was the one who was able to take more from the experience than you were. I mean, obviously, I really hope this person didn't teach you that, you know, love is bogus and shit and that you shouldn't get involved with it. I definitely see like the other way around. You taught this person more about your own opinion. And I feel like that is where the confusion comes in, because this person is torn between maybe what they have experienced, not maybe, definitely torn between what they have experienced, be it with past partners of their own or, you know, people that they have had around as children. Obviously, this could be referring to their parents or neighbors or just, you know, these sort of couples that were very dysfunctional and ended up really hurting one another more than doing good to one another. So they're basically like torn between their own experience and what you describe to them, and just you as a person, if I'm being honest, because I really feel like you are someone who has, if not many, then you know, if not many connections, then definitely healthy connections in your life, because it's not about the number, it's about the quality. Like, it's not about the quantity, it's about the quality of the people that you have around you. And this fact really bumps heads with what this person knows, because they see you interact so beautifully with the people that you have around you. They see all this support that you give for one another, all this care that you exchange, this fondness, this help, just in general, a lot of beautiful aspects of relationships, no matter the kind that we're discussing. And, you know, that kind of like clashes with what they already knew. And that's what kind of like threw them for a loop. Is that the expression? Hopefully you understood it, even if it's not the expression itself. I feel like what you have taught this person, pile 4, no matter the means, okay? So maybe they've learned by just watching you, or you've actually had discussions with this person about this. But what you've taught this person is just the power of love. The fact that love doesn't mean weakness. Caring about someone doesn't make you weak, which may have been one of the beliefs that this person has carried. in the past, they really felt like once they fell in love with someone, or once they started caring for someone, once again, because we're keeping it general, not just talking about romantic relationships, they feel like in that moment they gave away their power and the other person could do absolutely anything they wanted with them. First and foremost, that is not an issue with love. That is an issue with personal boundaries and bad people that you allow in your life. It's not about, the actual element of love that may or may not be involved. So that's basically kind of like where this person should have started. Also attachment, they really should have figured out what their attachment issues were, what their issues with boundaries were, and kind of like resolve those before really allowing love into their life. But going back to what I was saying earlier, you made them realize that actual love that is separate from attachment issues and boundaries issues, that can only give you strength, okay? Because when you act from your loving energy, from your heart chakra, because we have so much about the heart chakra here, you can only attract good things and beautiful things and loving connections. Having someone by your side, having someone be, I don't want to say your other half because I don't really believe in that, but just, I can't deny, like when you really love someone and you make them such a big part of your life, in that process, it kind of feels like they are part of you. And at the end of the day, I really feel like in certain cases, we may even feel like the people in our life make up who we are as a person. So, from that point of view, let's say I can let slide the message about, finding your other half or just another part of yourself. You have taught them that beautiful connections do occur, and they are almost always triggers of positive change in someone's life. They are triggers for, and I'm using trigger in a positive sense as well. I don't know if you can do that. I don't know if that's a different word, but hopefully you can understand me when I'm saying trigger as well. So it can trigger a lot of positive change, a lot of positive experiences, putting you basically in a situation in which you may have never been before, because you never know who you get attached to, who you not attached is a bad person, who you make friends with, who you enter a relationship with. I mean, you kind of like know in the beginning that this is their name and this is what they work and this is what they studied, but like along the way you kind of like learn what their passions are and their goals in life and their dreams, and you kind of like get involved with those as well. You never know what new sides of yourself a new person can bring out. But I feel like this person has struggled to reach this conclusion, even with your positive energy in their life, even with your positive example, the conversations you may have had. This person has still struggled a lot with the idea that there could be actual love for another person. I feel like this person has, for the longest time, just saw themselves as independent from the rest of the world, which I'm not trying to completely contradict. Like ultimately, yes, we're all different people with different experiences and different ways that we reacted to those differences. But you are not alone, okay? You are never alone, and you are this thing when you consider yourself so out of reach of other people. You kind of like isolate yourself in this idea that, oh, I'm different. Okay, I'm completely different from these people, and these people can't understand me, and real love doesn't exist. Like, how could you love a person that you don't even know completely? Because, you know, that's the truth. You can never completely know a person. So this person really has struggled with just the idea and concept of love in general. For the longest time, maybe they even believed that they were not capable of love, maybe of attachment, of, you know, some sort of fleeting crush, but never love. Because deep down, I feel like they didn't feel deserving of love, and through that they kind of like learned to not give love away either. I really don't know if any of this made sense. There were a lot of messages that were coming in at once, and obviously love is such a difficult, complex concept, especially when I'm trying to explain it from the point of view of someone who doesn't believe in it, I guess, and doesn't feel deserving of it, and through that, like I said, isolates themselves. I definitely feel, Power 4, that you've taught this person the concept of community. This person may even have more friends around now that, you know, the two of you have developed some sort of relationship, whatever the nature of it. Maybe they are your own friends that you kind of like brought to meet this person, but I definitely feel like you've taught them the concept of community, the concept of mutual help, and you've shown them that they are deserving of love. I mean, definitely with, you know, when you have self-doubt issues, there are still going to be times when you feel like it's all in your head, like, you know, this care that these people have for you, it's all in your head. They actually don't give a shit about you. But in the long run, I feel like you've made a really positive impact on this person. I see them happier. I see them more passionate, more driven, more ambitious, because that's also something that comes when you have the right people around you. You just feel more full of life in general. So yeah, really, really beautiful, positive impact that you've done on this person, Power 4. That has been your reading. I really hope that you enjoyed. I feel like it was really self-explanatory. This confusion card actually ended up being self-explanatory, because I kind of like felt a mental fog on my brain the whole time I was trying to do this. There is a lot of confusion that is still surrounding this person, but they're not letting that stay in their way anymore. They're just going with the flow. They keep having interactions with people. They keep making new connections and going from there, and not allowing their intrusive thoughts, because we have the 9 of Swords reversed. Their anxiety, their ego, their overthinking patterns, they're not letting those stay in the way of their happiness anymore, and meeting new people and connecting to new people. But like I said, Power 4, that has been your reading. I really hope that you enjoyed. If you did, please consider liking, commenting, subscribing. I would love to keep your wonderful energy around, and I really hope to see you in another reading. Bye.